Big draft weekend here at the Star in Frisco. Bill Jones joined by Garrett Podell, NFL staff writer for CBS Sports. And the Cowboys make the news on Thursday night, Garrett, with the drafting of the offensive tackle out of Oklahoma. And, of course, that is Tyler Guyton. But let's talk about what happened prior to drafting Guyton at number 29 overall. The Cowboys make the decision to trade down from 24. They pick up a third-round draft pick from the Detroit Lions in that deal. And so what do you make of what Jerry Jones decided to do last night?
I was a little surprised because Graham Barton was on the board, and that was someone who, in his press conference after the move and after they selected Guyton, he compared him to Zach Martin. So for him to move back with Barton on the board, I mean, that says how much they really wanted offensive tackle and how much they wanted to pair a tackle with Tyler Smith, keep him at left guard. And then talking to Jerry last night, he said there were 4 players that we would have been comfortable drafting. They got Guyton, who's at the top of that 4, so that's a big win for them, getting their guy and an extra third-round pick.
Yeah, what was interesting about that, he said there were 4 guys, and I think 3 of those guys went off the board back-to-back right after they made the trade, and that was Jordan Morgan, who went the next pick, and then, as you mentioned, Graham Barton went the pick after that to Tampa Bay, and then even the defensive end Darius Robinson from Missouri goes the following pick to Arizona at number 27. So I think there were some tense moments probably in that draft room as they waited to make sure Tyler Guyton would still be there at 29.
Absolutely, and then when you saw the Chiefs go up for a wide receiver, that's when the party started to begin here in Dallas. And you could just tell when Jerry and Steven and Mike came out for the press conference, they were laughing, cracking jokes. I mean, Mike McCarthy was telling us what it's like to switch from right tackle where Tyler Guyton played to left, and he said what his former Packers players said.
Don't go there.
Yeah, said it's like operating just with a different hand. But yeah, you could just tell the elation of these guys and filling a keyhole because Stephen Jones said attrition was at offensive line. They lost Tyler Biotish, they lost Tyron Smith. So get the left tackle. That really opens up the board for them in terms of a number of different positions you can address with 3 picks, going forward in day 2.
Yep. And so when you look at Tyler Guyton, here's a guy, he's from Manor, Texas, just outside Austin, a late bloomer and late to football, in fact. His senior year at Manor High School, he was a defensive tackle recruited by Gary Patterson, the only D1 scholarship offer that he had, and was basically used as an H-back and a backup offensive lineman at TCU before transferring to Oklahoma. There are some questions about his experience and how raw he is.
That's fair because 13 of the 14 starts at Oklahoma were at right tackle. Now, what they keep bringing up is he was Dylan Gabriel's blindside blocker at Oklahoma. Dylan Gabriel, the Sooners quarterback, he was a lefty. So he knows what it's like to protect the blind side. Obviously, Dak Prescott here, right-handed quarterback. So the footwork's going to be a little different. It's like, if switching hands to do something, whatever it is, hitting a tennis ball, shooting a basketball, and his basketball background he cited as a big help to his footwork, particularly in pass pro. So I think, they're going to cross-train him up a lot in training camp, and that's going to be a real focus is how quickly can he adapt to that left tackle spot.
And you look at the history of Bill Bedenbaugh, who is the offensive line coach at Oklahoma. He's had 12 draft picks the last 10 years in his time at OU, including 2 first-round draft picks in these last couple of drafts. What about just the experience for you look at the Guyton family, and Tyler says that his dad is a lifelong Cowboys fan. We just had the press conference here at the Star moments ago. This is truly a life-changing moment for not only Tyler, but for the entire family, don't you think?
Absolutely. I thought it was incredibly notable that Jerry Jones said, I've never seen a player come into here after they were drafted and be more grateful, thankful, elated to be a Dallas Cowboy. I think that says a lot. And for this franchise that really prides itself on taking care of their own and just the brand that Jerry's built the Dallas Cowboys to be, to see someone that is that excited and to say my favorite Dallas Cowboys moment was when I was able to take my dad and get him to kiss the star on the field. I just think that's a really cool story. And you bring a guy in who is a great locker room fit because he's just counting his lucky stars that he's playing next to Zach Martin and Tyler Smith.
And one other note on that, I think for someone like Tyler Guyton, who is kind of a shy personality, and Manor is a rural area outside of Austin, much like Patrick Mahomes, who was from Tyler, just outside in White House. Patrick Mahomes going to Kansas City, I think, was the perfect spot for him because you don't have that New York media that you have to deal with. And and that kind of pressure and so forth. I was telling Tyler earlier today, I think this is a perfect spot for him. Here at the Star in Frisco, you got the facility here, you live close by. If this is the perfect place for him to make the transition into professional football, I think.
I agree. I mean, the NFLPA puts out a report every year on the facility quality, and in terms of that, the Dallas Cowboys are always in the top 5. So in terms of the training, the cafeteria downstairs, it looks like a restaurant. And to your point, I think it's really cool that all the players kind of live around here. I remember talking to Zach Martin ahead of the Thanksgiving game, and he said one of his favorite stories was riding over with a coach and a couple of his teammates just early in the morning to the games early on when he was a rookie, like Guyton is now. And so I just think the ability to have that bond and camaraderie, like what you were mentioning, can really just be a huge plus for somebody who's entering the NFL and switching positions.
And mom and dad, they can just travel up the road about 3 hours and watch son play. All right, Garrett Podell, we appreciate it. Catch his work on CBSSports.com, and we will have complete Cowboys draft coverage right here on CBSTexas.com.